everyone, welcome to Itsy Bitsy's live reading from Rogue Wave, the Inland Seas series, Book 2, by Gwen McNavy. Chapter 1, Cutter. The four men sitting around the table couldn't be more completely fucking obvious to me watching. Laughter and jokes floated through the summer afternoon air, while they eat more food than I thought humans were even capable of ingesting in one sitting. I guess it's true. Italians love to eat. My stomach gurgles. Maybe I should have taken E up on his offer of breakfast before I left this morning instead of eating a protein bar on the way here. One of his big spreads would have tasted a lot better and filled me up for the endless hours of surveillance. As it stands, I'll be stopping for a massive meal once these assholes settle in for the night and I can head out of Chicago and back toward the warehouse. Milo lounges on the grass next to the bench, with his face resting on top of my foot. He releases a heavy sigh. I glance down at him. He raises his eyebrows and stares back up at me as he offers a low whimper. Demanding little shit. I reach down and scratch the top of his head. I know, boy. Just a little longer. We'll have E make you something special when we get home, I promise. Work has to come first today. I reach into the paper bag next to me and grab 2 treats. Milo rises on the back paws and snatches them from my hand. That will appease him long enough. They can't be here much longer. It's already been almost an hour since they sat down for lunch. A train rattles by on the track between where I sit in the Momentum Park and the focus of my attention, obscuring my view of Moretti's patio and my targets. This location certainly isn't ideal for recon, but it's as close as I can get and still remain inconspicuous. The park and Milo gave me the perfect cover to watch my prey, even if I do lose my line of sight for a few seconds, a couple of times an hour. The metal monstrosity passes once again, revealing the Marcanis and their hunchmen. One goon stands outside the door to the patio, blocking everyone else from coming out, even the servers. They hand off food to him and he lumbers over and sets it on the table. A strikingly tall, thin woman with long, sleek black hair and a dark suit that hugs all of her perfect curves stands like a gargoyle centile behind the table where El Perdon and his capos and Arturo eat. It's the first real chance I've seen to get the job done. When Warwick gave me the okay to take El Perdon and Arturo out, I knew it wouldn't be an easy task. This has to be done delicately so the innocent don't get hurt, and the hit can't be traced back to us. Surveillance on them over the last week hasn't presented many opportunities for me to take them out. But here, at this restaurant, this lunch spot, it's a perfect setup. Between the church behind me, the train station immediately to my left, the parking lot, the Edison Park bowling alley, and the restaurant building next door to Moretti's, and the park I'm currently in, I have a number of places to set up with my rifle. They'll be dead, and I'll be long gone before anybody realizes what happened. God, please let this be a regular lunch place for them. It's the first time I've followed them here since I started planning the hit, but El Perdon seems to be a creature of habit. If this turns out to be his regular Friday lunch spot, I'm golden. Between now and next week, I'll gather more intel on the area. By then, I'll be ready. Game fucking on. My fingers practically itch for it. The Marcanis have been a thorn in all of our sides for far too long. After what Arturo did to Warwick and Grace, it became clear that things are only going to get worse the longer we're under their thumb. Arturo is making moves. He has his sights set on El Perdon's powerful seat, and it's only a matter of time before the old man croaks or retires in his hands and hands it right over to him. That would be disastrous for all of us. Rather than sit back and wait for things to go to fucking hell, Through months or even years of being jerked around by Arturo while El Perdon struggles to maintain control, we're taking action. I'm taking action. Maybe we should have done it sooner. 5 years of this has been 5 years too many. But we never expected it would come to this. Hijacking ships that are transporting drugs. There are a lot of things that guys will put up with. Guns, theft, violence, maybe being the least of them. But after what War went through with his father, drugs are where we draw the line. It should have been where El Perdon drew the line too. It's inconceivable he's still keeping Arturo so close after what he did. Unless he still doesn't know everything or is turning a blind eye because Arturo is his nephew and heir apparent. Regardless, the two sure look pretty damn chummy based on what I've seen the last week. They're particularly inseparable, as if Arturo never went behind his uncle's back. It doesn't make any sense. But why would El Perdon does what he does is irrelevant at this point. He sealed his fate a long time ago when he made his deal with Warwick. It's just taken until now for War to finally realize it's time to end all this. That's the one good thing Grace has brought to him, clarity. It doesn't matter that we've gotten away with it for the past 5 years. It doesn't matter that we enjoy it most of the time, that the violence and adrenaline fill a different void each of us has in our own lives. It's gone on for far too long. It's too exposed. Being at the beck and call of someone like El Perdon has been risky since day one, but being at the beck and call of a man like Arturo would be true death sentence. We can't sit around and wait for him to take over. Ending things now is the only way we all walk away unscathed. I flipped a page in the book on my lap without taking my focus off the Marcanas. One benefit the glasses provide. They make it a hell of a lot easier to conceal the direction I'm looking. I glanced down at Milo again, then back up at the restaurant patio. My heart leaps into my throat, and I fight the urge to whip my head around and search. She's gone. The beautiful Stonic woman who has been glued to El Perdon's side since the moment I started following him, is no longer standing on the guard of the patio. Where the fuck did she go? It couldn't have been more than 3 seconds that I looked away. I reached down to pet Milo and used the opportunity to casually scan the surrounding sidewalks and the parking lot and the street that separates the restaurant from the park where I sit. A couple strolls hand in hand down to the right of the lot. A white Prius turns the corner and makes its way down Olstead Avenue toward Moretti's. A black SUV makes the same turn, but there's no sign of her. I turn to the left toward the train station. If she crossed the street in my direction, the building would give her a perfect cover. Shit. Maybe she only went into the restaurant for something, but a familiar tingle slides up my spine. One that's been a warning system for as long as I can remember. One that's always kept me alive, even in the worst situations. One I ignored just long enough to almost pay the price once. It's not a mistake I'll make again. I slowly close the book and set it on the bench beside me. I shift my hand to my side so it's closer to where my Glock sits in the holster on my hip. Something's not right. Arturo rises to his feet where he was seated next to El Perdon and leans down to whisper something in his uncle's ear. El Perdon chuckles, and Arturo slaps him affectionately on the back before turning and strolling toward the door into the restaurant. Fuck, now where is he going? The goon blocking the door moves to the side and allows him to enter. El Perdon laughs and jokes, with his capos as dread claws at my gut. Milo climbs to his feet and whimpers. He senses it too. Shit. The Prius turns into parking lot for the train station and the black SUV's engine roars. It speeds up and a canopy of gunshots ring out, breaking the tranquil silence of the beautiful summer afternoon. I pull out my gun, grab Milo, and dive behind the bench. But the bullets aren't directed my way. The patio explodes as it decimated with automatic weapon fire. El Perdon and his capos dive for cover, but it's too late. Like knocking over dominoes, they fall one by one. Frank Barone, Angelino Cosa, Michael Grasso, and finally El Perdon. The bullets whack his body. He drops to his knees and then tumbles backward onto the concrete like his men. The man at the door, there to protect them, crumbles right along with him. Holy shit. Fuck, fuck, fuck. The SUV roars down the street. Tires squeal as it rounds the corner, and I get one last glance at it before it disappears. No license plate on the back. Of course. If you're going to take out the Morones, you don't want it in a way that can be traced, which is precisely why I've been biding my time, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Looks like someone beat me to the punch. There's another player. Warwick isn't going to be happy about this. My hand tightens around my Glock and I ease it back into the holster. The last thing I need is to be seen with a weapon after what went down. What I need is to get the hell out of here before the cops arrive and start asking questions. I can't be associated with this in any way. No one can ever know I was here. No! The cry comes from my left side, the far side of the train station. I tense as the mystery woman who has been El Perdon's shadow lately darts across the street from near the train station toward the patio. She was over here, too close for comfort. Why? Why the hell did she leave him? Why the fuck did Arturo get up right before they attacked? It's all too a little coincidental to be an accident. She leaps over the low iron railing around the patio and drops to her knees beside El Perdon. Even from here, across the street with a parking lot and train tracks between us, watching her hand shake as she reaches out and presses it against one of the wounds on his chest, sends a familiar pain spreading through my body. The explosions still ring in my ear even after 6 years, as do the echoing screams. The disorder and confusion tighten my chest as much today as it did then, and the pain. I squeeze my eyes shut against the memory, then force them down. This isn't the time or the place to fall back into that dark hole. My focus needs to be completely on what's unfolding in front of me. The woman leans down closer to El Perdon, her face mere inches from his own. Someone from inside the restaurant chops open the door to the patio and rushes over to them. He kneels next to the woman, and she glances over her shoulder toward me. Fathomless amber eyes meet mine. Shit, that's my cue to leave. I rise to my feet and grab the book I borrowed from Warwick off the bench and casually walk from the park toward where I parked several blocks away. Sirens scream in the distance, but I continue my slow stroll away from Moretti's and the bloodbath. Running would draw attention, the last thing I need right now. Even though I wasn't involved, my name in the police reports or newspapers connecting me in any way with the Marcanis would be like painting a goddamn bullseye on the crew. She looked right at me. She saw me and knew I was there, which means even if I didn't pull the trigger, I'd be a suspect. She'll either rat me out to the police or come looking for me herself. This all went to shit in the fucking blink of an eye. That seems to be happening a lot lately. Thank you for listening to this portion.